It's time for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Brewed Awakening Coffee, with 3 locations to serve you. Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, Highway 62 412 at Balmer Boulevard, and the Walmart East Plaza. And now, Down on the Corner.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas and Southern Missouri. It is Wednesday, January 23rd, 2019. It is 7 a.m. Hey.
It's a beautiful morning.
Yeah, windy.
A little windy and a little cut through you just a little bit, but
Not
it's
as windy
not
as you
too
and Bob
bad.
Rechtenwald getting into discussion over football.
Oh, heaven forbid.
Except there's a little bit cooler air out here.
We get in heated discussions.
Yeah, you two can blow more hot air than a tailpipe, let me tell you.
What?
What? Listen to-
What? It's intelligent conversations. I mean,
We're talking about you and Bob Rechtenwald now, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's.
How about we getting some nasty texts from Bob?
Yeah, I guarantee he's listening. Bob, start it flying. Just send it to his phone.
Yeah,
one
here
after
it
the other,
comes,
'cause
dude.
he doesn't mute that stupid phone.
Now, he's got a good guest coming in on Monday. Yeah, we're going to Viola Longhorn's, was it softball or baseball coach, I think. I have to read it. Anyway, check online. We're going to have a good guest on Monday. Anyway, welcome to Down on the Corner program. Dale Hoffman, your host, along with Scooter Callis. And so, I'm enjoying Brewed Awakening coffee.
Are you?
Yeah, Bill Hughes sitting right over here, getting ready to come on the show here in a few minutes. He says, boy, that's good coffee. So it's
Smooth.
we'll have to give him the antidote after the show. Brewed Awakening Coffee, best coffee in town. As you heard in the introduction, 3 locations to serve you. Balmer Boulevard, which at 7:02 in the morning is going to get busy with all the kids and teachers going through Brewed Awakening. He's got a great location there.
He does.
Great location. It's
all
easy
the
and-
kids
yeah.
trying to get that pick-me-up on their way to school,
Yep.
and then all the teachers stopping in there just so they can keep up with the
Cha-ching,
kids. So
cha-ching.
that's just how it works.
Balmer Boulevard, 62 East Plaza, out by Anytime Fitness, and of course Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby. 3 locations to serve you Brewed Awakening coffee, the best coffee in town. If you're not drinking Brewed Awakening, you're just drinking muddy water. Mike and his gang do a great job out there. We got to get some more cinnamon rolls one of these days. So
There you go. The
Cinnamon
big
roll.
ones. The big ones.
oh, they are so good. They've got everything you can imagine. Even they've got it well stocked there in the hospital lobby. You know,
Yeah.
that little oatmeal that I'll eat occasionally here at the studio, he's got some of those out there at the hospital and everything. So he's got it pretty well covered. So
That's cool.
yeah, Brewed Awakening Coffee, 3 locations to serve you, Mike and the staff. Can't wait to serve you today and throughout the rest of the week. Check them out. The best coffee in town is Brewed Awakening. And of course, the morning prayer is brought to you by Roller Funeral Home of Mountain Home, right here in Mountain Home. Roller Funeral Homes, with all our respect, the utmost in professionalism, dignity, and respect. They will bend over backwards to make sure the service for your loved one is just the way you want it. And across the state of Arkansas, 29 Roller Funeral Homes across the state, with 1 in Memphis, Tennessee. And I can tell you firsthand, these people here are top-notch. They will help you beyond your wildest imagination. Roller Funeral Homes across the state of Arkansas and right here in Mountain Home. Check it out with Charlotte and Chris and Bruce or Brad. Anybody's going to be able to help you out there at Roller Funeral Home, whether it's an emergency or an anticipated passing of a loved one. You know, Roller Funeral Homes across the state of Arkansas. And now let's pause for our morning prayer. Heavenly Father, today I'm concerned with the updated abortion law in New York. Lord, I've read the intentions of the law to protect the mother after 24 weeks if their life or health are threatened. But we all know about earmarks or pig trails in legislation. My question is, what's hidden in the loopholes of that law? In the modern era of medicine and healthcare, prenatal care has helped bring about healthy babies. But Lord, I don't understand or comprehend a society that allows abortion, the destruction of a human life, and the development stages within the mother. We actually kill our own children. We claim it's not a life until it's born, but there is a heartbeat and blood flow throughout the body of that baby. Lord, our country needs Jesus Christ more than ever. I pray you bring forgiveness to this country, and that's my prayer today. Amen.
Amen.
Roller Funeral Homes of Mountain Home and across the state of Arkansas bring morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes. And now,
Dun, dun, dun.
hey, 3 days
The
in a row that
weather.
thing's been tuned.
The weather.
Wow, I'm impressed.
I need to work. I need to get one of those little things.
You
that
need a little
change your-
piccolo trumpet.
Yeah, something. I
Let's see,
need to work on that.
you know the opening on all you need is love, that piccolo trumpet. That's what you need, a little piccolo trumpet.
There you go. You work on that.
I'll find you a
Work
piccolo
on
trumpet. Morning weather brought by Old Time Restaurant on the Square at Mountain Home. Best breakfast, best lunch in town. Old Time Restaurant on the Square at Mountain Home, Monday through Friday, 7 to 2, Saturday morning till 11 a.m. And the special today is, let me guess, liver and ham and beans?
That's the lunch special. Yes, you did good. Your choice of ham and beans or liver and onions.
And what's the breakfast
and,
special?
Both on the lunch, they comes with 2 sides, roller cornbread for $6.88. For breakfast, we've got those big, huge breakfast burritos, just packed full of goodness. I love her breakfast burritos.
Oh, yeah.
But they're doing breakfast burritos. It comes with hash browns, $5.88. Can't beat it. It's a great meal. Or go in there and grab you a pie and some coffee, or just go in there and give Amanda a hard time.
It's a great place for just a nice little relaxed meeting. You know, I met with one of the pastors here the other day, and hey, maybe not old time 10 o'clock for coffee. Yeah, we sit there and talk for an hour and 15 minutes. Great spot.
Go in there, give Amanda a hard time, and tell him Coach Bill.
She must not be watching today.
Tell him Coach Bill Hughes told everybody to
everybody's
give her a hard
gonna be in
time.
Trouble today.
So it's if they come in there giving her a hard time, it's his fault. And make sure she knows it.
Oh, anyway, Old Time Restaurant on the Square at Mountain Home. They bring you the morning weather each and every day. Right now, 30 degrees at Mountain Home, Harrison at 27. Showing showers at Hardy at 39 degrees, 36 at Mountain View, Arkansas, 31 at Yellow, Marshall at 36. Calico Rock along the White Rivers at 30 degrees, while in St. Louis they have 40 degrees with showers. Poplar Bluff at 48. The cold front has moved through up there. There's 25 in Branson, 48 at Poplar Bluff. So the cold front's kind of split between here and there. So 32 at West Plains, Branson at 25, and Watford City, North Dakota. What do you guess?
19.
Yep. You
Funny
cheated.
I've got it on my screen.
You cheated.
Dude, I got everything you got on your screen. I'm watching
forgot about
online.
that.
So, yeah, go ahead. Ask me another question. I bet I get it.
Well, let me hide the screen. On the national radar, you can see the shower activity from the southern tip of Texas across Louisiana and most of eastern Arkansas. Well, southern part of Arkansas is kind of that, what I'd call the northeast cutout of Arkansas, not getting any showers right now. Stretches into southeast Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, New York, blah, 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 blah. You know, Iowa, Michigan, you name it, they've got it. Take a look at that Little Rock stop real quick. From Texarkana to El Dorado, back over to Greenville, Mississippi, back up to Jonesboro, Hardy, Imboden, Pocahontas getting some showers. Clay County is kind of in that swipe right there. This affects Highway 412 East. It's going to affect Highway 63, Interstates 40, 555, and 55. And Highway 67, 167, once you get around Batesville in the northern part of the state towards Poplar Bluff, that's where, well, 67 is probably more effective than 167 right now. Western part of the state along I-30, Little Rock to Texarkana, minimal showers there. Then I-49, nothing there. And 40 west from Little Rock, Conway, Fort Smith, Fayetteville, and 49 looks like it's in pretty good shape. We check that St. Louis stop. There's a lot of rain in southern Illinois and southeast Missouri. You actually see the rest of the northern part of the state of Arkansas, Clay County with a lot of rain showers there. Neelyville, Missouri, Naylor, Missouri, just south of Poplar Bluff with the showers there. It goes on over to Sikeston, Cape Girardeau, and then on up into Illinois. You see I-64 coming out of East St. Louis, Illinois towards Mount Vernon. I-70 east from St. Louis, Vandalia, Effingham. They've not got a lot of stuff yet, but I have a feeling they'll be moving up. Somehow I hit the Paducah stop there. Let me go to the St. Louis is not working. Well, how about southwest Missouri today? You can see the edge of the shower activity there to the east of Mountain Home, and so Lebanon, Rolla, Columbia, Kansas City, all of those cities right there on I-44 and 70. Excuse me. Not much activity at all. Well, why don't we just check Evansville, Indiana, and see what's going on. Now you can see Illinois and Indiana, and you see Kentucky and parts of Tennessee. So that's a pretty good amount of rain all throughout the Midwest right there from Indianapolis back to about Mount Vernon and Vandalia, Illinois. So now this is showing a lot more shower activity around Vandalia and Effingham than the other stop did. I guess we're just out of range right there. Anyway, forecast map shows some winter weather precip going on in Montana, North and South Dakota, some in Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, Northern Illinois, Michigan, on up into the New England areas. Nothing for Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana. We do have, I'm picking up, I better click on Missouri right there. This is close to home. have a flood watch. That would be Ripley County, Missouri. Let's see, you got Butler, Ripley. I don't remember what the county north of Ripley County, Missouri is, but that's along probably the Current River right there. Current and 11 Point River, maybe getting a little bit high right there. So if you live in that part of southeast Missouri, you might be aware of that. The 7-day forecast, I'm going to refresh this, make sure we're up to date here. For today, slight chance of snow, sleet, mostly sunny, high of 35. Tonight, a low of 24. Then Thursday, excuse me, mostly sunny, high of 42. Thursday night, a low of 15. Friday, a high of 37. Still sunny, low of 25. Saturday, partly sunny with a high of 43. Then Sunday, a high of 49 with mostly sunny skies. So it looks like we've got the precip out of the way for a while and should be some pretty nice weather. Drought monitor will be updated tomorrow on the 24th, about the end of the show. Right now, there's no drought showing up in Arkansas or Missouri. It's wintertime, had some good rain. I drive Arkansas map. I won't have to hit this thing again because it keeps, there we go. All highways in Arkansas are clear. They've got some construction on a culvert replacement at Batesville on Highway 69. Missouri map shows the northern part. Yeah, how's that?
Yeah, the top side's looking a little ugly.
Covered. Purple indicates covered. The blue is partly covered. And then the light blue, where you see Mexico, Missouri there, just to the northeast of Columbia, is partly covered. Last night there was an accident down around Rolla, Missouri. They had 2 tractor trailers and some with some hazardous chemicals. They shut down both lanes of I-44 at Rolla last night.
I'll be darned.
So they had some snarled traffic. So anyway.
It was slating this morning about 3 o'clock. Pretty heavy here.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, at my house it was.
Huh. Morning weather is brought to you by Old Time Restaurant on the Square in Mountain Home. Best lunch, best breakfast in town. Old Time Restaurant Monday through Friday, 7 to 2, Saturday till 11 a.m. Community calendar brought to you by Affordable Housing, 870-741-2883. The family of believers of Trinity Lutheran Church welcomes you to an evening of songs and hope and redemption with Stephen Bautista and Marissa Renee. And it's tonight at 6:30. That's at Trinity Lutheran Church. It's just one block east of College Street. It's back behind the new veterans home at the Bob Davis Veteran Homes right there.
Yeah.
Right there, the church. Very, very nice facilities right there at Trinity Lutheran Church. Our good friend Dave Kapler, pastor there, does a fantastic job. He's just a great leader right there at Trinity Lutheran Church. I've got that concert tonight at 6:30 at Trinity Lutheran Church. What you got?
All right. The high school wrestling team travels this weekend down to Greenbrier for the state duels. It'll be a 2-day tournament where actually, I believe, starts on Friday at 3 o'clock and we'll roll through Saturday. So it's going to be a tough tournament, state duels, and wish them the best of luck. And they're gonna need it.
Yep. Friday, February 22nd will be the Mountain Home High School French Club's Chili Supper at Century 21 Lemack Real Estate Office here in Mountain Home. Buy your tickets ahead of time. Let's see, I believe they're $5. And come enjoy chili, dessert, bottle of water from 4 to 7 p.m. And this is for the 2020 trip to Quebec.
Yeah.
And so you say
that's a fun trip. My daughter did that trip, and I mean, she talked about it forever. She'll remember that for the rest of her life. That was a nice trip.
A lot of fun. Then we have sports registrations going on. Mountain Home Parks and Recreation Youth Basketball League is currently holding sign-ups. The league groups are kindergarten, co-ed, then they have first and second grade, third and fourth and fifth and sixth grade. $45 registration fee with a $5 multi-child discount. Call 424-7275 for information there. Then also the city leagues, softball, baseball, swimming, tennis, football. I think all that signs up on the same day.
And that'll be the 2nd and the 9th.
2nd and the 9th at the youth center starting at 9 a.m. on Saturday. I think they
9 to noon.
9 to noon both days.
Yep.
So anyway, I think we got everything covered. Coach Bill Hughes is going to be our guest here in just a few minutes. We're going to take a break, and we will be right back.
If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the Pie Lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home.
Our old burger was only 7 ounces, but now it's 8 with brioche bun and pickles. Comes with its own steak knife, it's really that big. Your best competition is always yourself. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. We're focused on one thing, burgers, ribs, fajitas. Just that one thing, burgers, ribs, and fajitas. We're reeling in our menu because it got out of hand. We had a moment of self-actualization. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back.
It's that time of year again. Time to take a hard look at your Medicare health plan. If you're looking for a new plan or looking to renew your existing plan, now's the time to renew all your options. At Bacco Insurance, we'll sit down with you and show you all the new choices and options, including $0 premium plans with low copays and dental, vision, and hearing benefits. Let us help take the confusion out of selecting a plan and find one catered to your needs. Contact Bacco Insurance today, located at 351 East 9th Street, Suite B in Mountain Home.
Do you know where your money goes when you give to charity? At the Salvation Army, 85 cents of every dollar stays to help those in need in our local community. Hi, I'm Captain Spaulding. The money we raise help people in the surrounding 5 counties, including Baxter, Marion, Sharp, Izzard, and Fulton. You can help by donating your unwanted items and by shopping at the Salvation Army store. Those in need get assistance with rent, utilities, sending kids to camp, and many other things. When it comes to this charity, the Salvation Army always helps those in our community.
Whether you're a professional lawnscape contractor or a homeowner in need of quality lawn equipment, Moran's Lawn and Garden has you covered. Moran's is the longest originally owned lawn and garden business in Mountain Home, with a 5,700 square foot warehouse packed full of new current year inventory for all your lawn maintenance needs. Moran stocks a full line of factory parts, and they service everything they sell, offering top names like Grasshopper, Hustler, and Country Clipper. Moran stands behind their quality service with thousands of customers using their products daily. Moran's Lawn and Garden, servicing the entire Twin Lakes area.
When I grow up, I want to save lives, like a superhero, and show up when people needed me.
When I grow up, I want to do animations. I want to create characters that can fly.
No matter what it is you want out of life, there is a path to get there.
When I grow up, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I know I want to go to college.
Arkansas State University Mountain Home. Take your first step at asumh.edu.
Have you
7:17, we want to welcome to the studio Bill Hughes, who's part of Twin Lakes Baptist Church. He could be associate pastor, youth director,
or dummy,
whatever. Helping out at Twin Lakes Baptist with the ministries there. So how you been, sir? Good to see you.
Doing well, Dale.
Yeah. Well, I called, talked to Sam. Couldn't say, well, why about Bill Hughes? Well, Bill's fine. Come on in. There's a lot of things going on nowadays that, people my age and younger are like, what, really, and the one thing I wanted to talk about, and we don't really have enough information on it yet, but, I wanted to talk about the chip implant. We talked about Mark of the Beast and Revelation and stuff. But now there's this legislation that's coming out that people could, well, if you're going to work here, you got to have a microchip implanted so we can scan your arm or scan your forehead. No, not this fat boy.
Right.
If you want to know who I am, I've got ID in my pocket. What do you think on that? I mean, I know we haven't researched this in depth.
Two or three things. First of all, I think it's House Bill 1177, and I appreciate you sending me the information. To be honest with you, I don't know a lot about it. Two or three things. I would say the man that's trying to get this passed himself said he would not have an implant.
Right. And what HB 1177, that's an Arkansas House bill.
Right.
And what it's doing, this is a prerequisite. In other words, the law would be established in Arkansas to say if you don't want chipped, you don't have to be, even before it becomes law in the federal government. But, which they're not pushing, but I'm just trying to red flag here, you know.
Yeah. First of all, I would not have one, but the day is coming, regardless. If we read the Bible, the day is coming when there will be implants in people. So we know that there is going to be the mark of the beast. That's one thing we can be assured of. Two, I think the real thing, though, is that we know that Christ is returning too. He's coming back. And I think for me personally, I don't know. I really don't know. I've talked to 4 pastors that I consider to be extremely intelligent, and we've all concurred to the same belief that I don't think any of us really know if that is the beginning or the middle part or whatever of the mark of the beast, but we do know that's going to happen. We do know that it's imminent that Christ is going to return, and for me it would be we better be prepared and not make each day our masterpiece and know this could be the day.
You know, that implant chip, it can actually have an implanted GPS to where anybody would know where you are at any given time.
Right.
You know, just by your GPS coordinates.
Yeah, it's kind of scary to think that there could be people all across the world that know where we are and what we're doing,
and we don't know who's watching.
And who's watching and have control. There's only one person I want to know for sure, and that's Christ. And that's where I would stand on that.
But still, we as Christian people need to take a stand and say enough is enough.
Yeah.
You know, now, you know, I remember we were going to Six Flags in St. Louis one time. This was back in the late 70s, and they'd put this stamp on your hand. You could see it it was a glossy thing, but what did they just do? Well, you put it under the infrared light going out to eat lunch, and it said paid or something like that. And you know. But now with we chip a dog or a cat, you know, and log in. Well, your dog's in Idaho, you know.
Right.
And now they got it for humans.
Yeah.
But they're saying employers, what the law 1177 stands for is my choice. I don't have to have that. If it becomes a law, you know.
Yeah. Well,
it's scary.
It is scary. I'm not planning on having an implant. None of the pastors I talked to are planning, and the gentleman that's initiating this said he would not have one.
Yeah.
So
I think it's Bob Ballinger doing that.
Yeah.
I think it's Bob's bill. Anyway, you know, reaching young people, you know, this is a different generation. Let's go back 20 years and go back 30 years and 40 years. Technology has totally changed, you know. I remember, just think how the VCR changed. You know, I was helping at a youth gathering one time, and of course I was doing sound system. Also had a radio that I could plug through the sound system, and we were outdoors and the Razorbacks were playing. And several people say, oh, well, you don't need to be playing that. I said, why? I said, the Razorbacks are playing basketball on the radio. Well, it's on TV too, and we're recording it. We don't know the outcome of the game. Well, then why don't you just go home so we can enjoy it, because we don't have our VCR set. It got to the point, I mean, I literally had people tell me to turn off the Razorback game because they didn't want to see the inning because they wanted to see it on their VCR.
Right. Yeah, times have changed. In fact, I can remember back when I first started coaching, we had reel-to-reel.
Oh, I still got that.
And oh, me, that was horrible when it would get off. We actually had one sent back to us one time that was upside down and backwards.
On a video?
On the reel-to-reel.
Oh, yeah.
And to try to get that thing corrected was tough. But that's where you're talking about, we're probably thinking about millennials. But
and you think anything, here's the whole world is right there.
Yeah.
Just think if we had that when John F. Kennedy was assassinated in 1963.
Yeah.
We'd know a lot more, I think.
Right.
Where that would be the good aspect of it.
Yeah.
You know.
The technology's good, and it's also bad on the other sense in some respects. In fact, I can remember where I was on that. It was a Friday, the 22nd.
Yeah.
And it was
I
in
did too.
study hall.
Really?
Yeah. Technology is good. I think for me personally, I have probably failed. I've had some of your children. I've never had scooters, but I've watched his, and do appreciate both of y'all and your investment in this community, Dale. Seriously, in scooters and old time. Tell Amanda today it's Wednesday, free Wednesday. Go in there.
Oh boy,
she'll know where it came from.
She may be listening.
But you know, I think I have failed. We worked with youth for 50 years. And I think sometimes I had to admit that, and I'm still learning. We've failed many times with this generation, and they are used to speed, things happening. They don't need adults as much anymore. Used to, we would ask, "Hey, Dad, what do you think about?" Or "Mom, what do you think about?" Sometimes we didn't want to hear it, but we did ask them. Or we talked to our teachers, or we talked to our coaches, and we talked to our pastors. But now they get on Google, and you can find out whatever you want to on Google in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, split second.
So I think they like speed. And so sometimes slow means bad to them, and it's really not. And I have failed maybe to realize we have got to kind of catch up. Our generation has got to catch up some.
Well, one thing I remember when we were kids is when that Sears Christmas catalog came out. Remember that?
Yes.
We'd fight over the Christmas catalog.
Right.
I'd look at the train sets and the race car tracks.
You
Remember
better
those?
believe it.
Do you remember those days?
No comment.
Scooter's too
No
young.
comment.
Scooter's too young.
Come on. Don't tell me.
I don't even remember having a Sears catalog in the house.
Oh, come on.
I'm serious.
Oh, my goodness.
See, he's young.
Oh, my goodness.
But
really?
nowadays there aren't catalogs much anymore. A lot of small businesses go out because we can do it, including libraries.
Yeah.
Because we can do it on
Online.
a phone, online, on a computer, and I'm still learning.
Look at the church service. I've actually sat in a church service where the scripture's on a screen. You can bring it up on your phone, or you can have a Bible like we've got here on the desk.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like that.
And that's probably something, I hate to admit, but something our generation, we're talking about right now, give or take a year or two, people that are 22 to 38 years old, and we are still, and I'm negligent, and I have to admit, but we are still trying to teach left brain ways to a right brain world. We're thinking knowledge, and knowledge is great. We need knowledge. I'm not saying that. I taught for 40 years.
Right.
I believe in knowledge. But this generation, and I learned this through Sam a few weeks ago, I've never used putting things up on the screen. But then I started putting up text up on the screen.
Really?
But I noticed Sam would put up pictures.
Really?
Yes, and this is the way this generation is really reached. They are more, they want to see things, they want to be a part of things, they want to touch things more than just hear. So when we're going to have to change, I think, I think we're going to have to change some of our ways and philosophy of tradition. Not that I don't mean compromise. I would never compromise the Word of God, but I think we're going to have to compromise some of our traditions and realize if we want to reach these people, young people, we're going to have to not change again our ways altogether.
Don't change the teaching of the Word.
Don't change that's exactly right.
I mean, we can't do that. Even Scripture warns against that.
No.
But the way we do things,
they do not want to sit and listen for 30 to 45 minutes. They want to be a part of, and I think we need to include them.
I can remember as a kid, Bill, my goodness, we'd sit there in church and it'd be like, back in the day, a lot of the churches I grew up in Southern Illinois, just outside of St. Louis.
That's okay.
Our church wasn't air conditioned. And let me tell you what, Saturday night you shined your shoes and your clothes were laid out and they were ironed and they were pressed and they were perfect, and you better not wrinkle them up while you were getting dressed on Sunday morning. So here's 7, 8-year-old boys. I'm in a suit and a tie and a coat, and I'm about as uncomfortable as I can be, and I'm itching, You're hot, you're sweaty, and then the preacher grinds on for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
That ain't going to fly today.
No.
That ain't going to fly today.
No. It won't. And again, I think it has, I agree with you, we never compromise on the Word of God in any respect. But I think the possibility of just the messages even being shorter, the messages including illustrations, again, because these young people see, they want to see.
Yeah.
And
it's an on-hands generation.
Yes. They're also used to entertainment, and I'm not saying entertain, don't get me wrong, please, but they're used to entertainment. They're used to being active, not just sitting. And we've got to make some decisions and choices.
We need new ideas.
New ideas.
New ideas.
Not new Bible, new ideas.
Yeah.
And to reach them. And
I'm gonna come right out and say it. I've been to some church services. I've been to funerals that are more exciting than some church services.
Yes.
I hate to say that, but I'm telling you what, I've been to church services that are less. I mean, the funerals were more exciting.
Right.
And I hate to say it, but
So I think we've got to make some choices, and I like it. Of course, I appreciate Scooter and being involved with the wrestling and the involvement with kids, and I really do. And your involvement right here. But I think of track. I like to run track. Yeah. That was a God-given talent, not something I did. But I ran on a relay team, a second leg, and I relate this to our generation. I'm older than you. I don't know how old you are.
I'm 60. I'll be 61 in April.
Oh man, Scooter.
I'm 43.
All right, I'm 72, and still enjoy life and being active.
Yeah.
But I can remember I was the second leg of the relay team, and I relate this to our generation and to the millennials. When we ran, it took all four of us. Mm-hmm. There was not one person going to be able to run and compete in that race, a relay race, without the other three. It's impossible.
Right.
And if we want to move our country in the right direction, preface this with Christ being the head of everything. I mean, I'm not talking about pull yourself up by your bootstraps, not philosophy, but Christ. But I can remember I always got the lead from the first man. He was the fastest kid in the state of Arkansas.
Really?
Walnut Ridge, yeah, he was unbelievable. Wow. So I always had the lead. There was a time there we both held on at the same time. And there's a time we've got to hold on with the millennials and they've got to hold on with us. But there was a time he turned loose. And there's a time we've got to turn loose. And it didn't mean that he was out of the race. He continued to cheer and holler, come on, and encourage. Yeah. And then there was a time I ran, but there was a time I had to hand off. And for just a second, we had it at the same time. Yep. And I think, I always told our athletes, I don't like lip service. But I think this is one time, this generation, they are looking for the truth. There's a word they don't like, is hypocrisy. Mm-hmm. They do not want to, and you look at, I hate to say it, but people in religion sometimes, pastors, they don't like the hypocrisy of saying one thing and living a different life.
I know. Yep.
Pastors aren't perfect, shouldn't be put on a pedestal. They don't like politicians that speak one thing and live a different way. They don't like athletes that do that.
I actually had a lady one time, because I was a big John Lennon fan after the Beatles broke up, says, well, how on earth can you listen to John Lennon? It's very simple. Put the record on and hit start.
That's right.
You know, make no bones about it. And I'll still listen. I don't, so.
But
go ahead.
If there's one thing I think that, I said I don't like lip service, but this, I like lip surface, L being love. We're going to have to love this generation unconditionally, and we're going to have to, Galatians 2:20 says, I'm crucified with Christ, nevertheless I live, yet not I but Christ live within me in the life which I now live in the flesh. I live by the faith of the Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me. I think our generation is going to have to come to a place where we die to self. It's not easy.
Let go.
You're going to have to let
go.
We're
going to let go of the traditions and how we've done it since the end of World War II in the churches.
That's exactly right.
We can take a quick break. 7:32, more of the Court Hughes right after this. Stick around.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detail services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Why would I recommend Hospice of the Ozarks? Because I know the people that work there, I know their hearts, and I know that their desire is to help people with the suffering and the anxiety and the things that can come with either terminal diagnosis or a terminal condition. We want them to have a peace of heart and to have a comfort and to know that someone's there to help them through that so they can enjoy the time that they have.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
When you need 7:35, visiting with Coach Bill Hughes and just talking just general stuff. State of New York and that abortion bill, did you see that?
No, honestly, I don't have much time for
they're bringing,
I hate to say it for TV, but
they're calling it women's health. And, you know, the body of the bill, you can't help but, okay, if the woman's body is in danger, I can understand that. But we know about pig trails and earmarks, and they're talking about the law for the first time allows abortions after the 24-week mark to protect the mother's health or in cases where the fetus won't survive. What's behind that? You know, we've got, maybe a half a paragraph right here on the screen, but we know about pig trails and what we call earmarks, where I've said this so many times on the air, people get tired of hearing it, but I was talking with Congressman Rick Crawford one time about the mitigation fish hatcheries, and I said, why can't you just write a bill to fund the fish hatcheries? Well, because Cleveland and Philadelphia and New England, they don't understand that. So we got to give them something in that bill so they give us what we want. Yeah. So I said, so if I was from New York and I wanted purple stop signs in yellow print, and you vote for that, then I vote for your fish hatchery. That's how it works. So we don't know what's behind this.
Well, I'm not for what you're talking about, going along to get something, to compromise to be able to get something. Obviously, I'm opposed to abortion. And I think back, Dale, to a time when I was in, I have to be careful because there will still be people that are alive. But a beautiful young lady when I was teaching, and she decided she wanted to have an abortion there at the house. Of course, she lost both, the baby and her life. And I think the one thing about the abortion is that we need to be careful. We do love the people. There are a lot of ladies that have had abortions that love the Lord and have just got caught up sometimes in not understanding, sometimes in being scared or fear. And so I do think we need to take a stand against the abortion. I think we need to be strong in it, but I think we need to do it with love and concern, not just for the loss of the child, but also for the mom, the emotional state of her. And so I do think we need to definitely take a stand against the abortion. And I think that comes back to the millennials. And I think that one thing they have missed, and it's that part of our fault, is values. And that's one reason I think they if you notice, your kids have done really well, by the way, listening to you. I'm very proud. They are an exception. You don't usually hear of these things like you were talking about, but of the value system. And I think that's one reason they have 4, 5, 6 jobs. They maybe don't know who they are, their identity, their values of life, their values of following Christ, the values of giving, and they're great people. The millennials are good people. They love community.
So let's go back and look. Let's go back to Woodstock of '69. The free drugs, free sex, 250,000 kids converge on New York. And I'm saying the music was great. I'm a big fan of the music. I'm not going to back down. You know, I mean, Joe Cocker and all the guys up there were probably some of the best music of a generation. But what transpired from that, in conjunction with the Vietnam War protest, and he had Watergate and all that mess, you know, the kids are looking at the establishment, which was basically a Christian establishment, and I think we let them down.
We did.
because I think back, because preachers will say, if this is the future of this country, we're in trouble. Well, here we are.
Yeah.
But it's our fault for allowing, and I'm not saying Woodstock was wrong. I probably would have loved being at Woodstock. You know, the music was great.
Yeah, I like music too. In fact, like I was telling you a while ago, I liked Elvis and I liked the Beatles. The Beatles came to Walnut Ridge. But I do think you're right. I think we have let this generation down, and they haven't forgotten that the establishment. They don't like establishment. They don't like the control of the government sometimes. And but again, I think that goes back to, if we want this, it's not just what has happened. It's how do we come through this. And one, I think we have to love them, and unconditionally, and then we have to really decide that I call it the lip service, love them, and be intentional. I think we have got to listen. I'm not good at that, but I'm getting better. Learn to listen to them without a quick response of, oh, here's how it's supposed to be, like you were talking about. And this is our kids are going to hell if we don't. And but be able to listen to them, be intentional, and not necessarily make all the changes, but they want the truth. They really do. They want the truth, and
That's
I think we don't give them the truth.
That's a good point.
We have kind of washed over and told. And again, they see this establishment of lies. They see it in the pulpit. They see it sometimes in the government. They see it with their parents. They see it with the teachers and coaches.
So they're actually seeing the old statement, don't do as I do, do as I say.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I think we're going to have to be intentional with them and go out and say, hey, listen, first of all, it's going to take some guts and courage to be able to say, I'm sorry. There's been times I've failed you. I want to listen. You share. And then listen to them with an immediate response of, hey, here's the answer. We know the answer is Christ, but they don't want to hear just Christ. They want some validity to it, and that's where they don't like the word hypocrisy.
Right.
They do like, and then I think prayer. We're going to have to really be prayed up on our heart's desire to help them, our willingness to die to self and some of our traditions and selfish ways. And there is a word they like, and I don't say this because I was involved in it, but they like the word coached. They like to be coached. They want people, I don't mean in their face, but my wife gave me a thing that said, a good coach changes games. A great coach changes lives.
There you go.
And so I'm not talking about just a wrestling coach or a football coach, but I'm so proud of our football staff. They're meeting Monday mornings with David Small and a couple of guys, and they're having prayer with them. And these guys are really excited about helping change lives. And of course, we want to win. A coach, we'd like to win, but they're interested in the kids. Bottom line. And so
when you start building that inner character, that outer character will perform.
You better believe it. That's where it has to start.
See, that's what he's taught me about I've not been to any wrestling matches, but I think it's the strength. Would you call it the strength of character, Scooter?
Yeah.
Because his boy,
Austin,
3-4 years ago, I pictured his boy as kind of hiding behind Daddy's leg.
Mm-hmm.
Now I call him Sir.
Yes.
Because I guarantee you that boy could, in 30 seconds, wrestle just about anybody my size to the ground in a New York minute, And what's he?
He's 13 right now, 8th grade.
So All-American?
Yeah, he's 4-time All-American.
Yeah, I was starting to say 4-time All-American, but I wasn't sure.
But more importantly, he's an All-American kid. Mm-hmm. But the coaching there comes back to, I think what they want is they want people to challenge them.
And that's what happened here.
Yes, but they want it to be done not from a put-down standpoint, but from a relational standpoint. I think they're seeking those things. We're either going to make a commitment to give it to them, or we're going to be stubborn and hard-headed. And I'm speaking. I know I've never coached for a popularity contest, so I'm sure there'll be some people that'll be opposed to what I'm saying. That's okay. But I think our generation has got to come to a place we don't compromise the Word of God, but we have got to be willing to say, hey, listen, we love you and we want to reach you, and we are willing to listen, and we are willing to get involved in some of the things you're involved in. I know especially this is a big controversy, music. I like music, you like music. This generation's music is different. I like the 40s and 50s and 60s. Mm-hmm. I honestly don't like the 70s and 80s, but those people do. And a lot of people don't like the music that comes into the church even. Oh, we've always done it this way. And I still love Amazing Grace. But I also, the same Holy Spirit that inspired that is the same Holy Spirit that inspired some of the new songs of today.
Mercy Me had an album come out in 08.
Yeah.
I was in our late 07. We picked it up. I was in Indianapolis when it came out and picked it out. A great album. A great album. And the guitar work, the strings, everything, it was just a phenomenal. All That Is In Me, I think, is the name of the album from 08. Yeah. From Mercy Me. Great record.
Yeah.
I mean, just track after track after track. Yeah. Hey, let's go ahead and take a break. It's almost 7:45. More with Coach Hughes right after this. Stick around. Be right back. When you need durable and comfortable hospital scrubs stat, you need the Uniform Shop. The Uniform Shop is the place for top quality uniforms, carrying a great selection of name brands including Carhartt, Cherokee, and Gray's Anatomy, as well as shoes from Clogs, Softwalk, and Landau, stethoscopes from Littman, blood pressure cuffs, scissors, name tag retractable, compression socks, paramedic BDUs, and Rocky boots. The Uniform Shop also offers customizing, embroidery, as well as minor alterations. Let us put you in uniforms. Shop the Uniform Shop. Take a step back in time when going to a barbershop meant more than just getting a haircut. Come into Legionnaire's Barbershop today, a unique gentleman barbershop. Get back in style from a former celebrity hairstylist and a licensed barber instructor who are trained in tonsorial arts and lock removal and happy to give you a straight razor shave. Legionnaire's Barbershop is veteran-owned and operated and located at 848 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. For a full, old-fashioned barbershop experience, stop by Legionnaire Barbershop today.
If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the pie lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant.
7:46. We're visiting with Coach Bill Hughes, Twin Lakes Baptist Church, and I got to tell you a couple stories here. This is one of my pet peeves, and I got to handle it in a delicate situation. Not this season, but in past seasons, probably the last 3 to 4 basketball seasons, I was involved in Soul Sneakers at First Baptist. A few changes this year, and I opted out. But in between the periods of play, they were playing like 8-minute periods. They do 8, 8, 8, have a testimony time, then 8, 8, 8, you know. As a timer, I would play music. So I had my computer there. Of course, I play records at home and I play tape, but you know, for the convenience, I had it on computer. I may play Patsy Cline, Johnny Cash, may play Blue Oyster Cult. I could play Elvis Presley. Whatever popped up, I'd play it. But we play a minute, minute and a half in songs. People enjoyed that old music. Even distinguished gentlemen come up, son, I like your music. Well, thank you. You know, I happened to play Walking After Midnight by Patsy Cline. So I was sitting downtown having coffee one time. A guy comes up and says, don't you do that announcing there for the basketball at First Baptist? You know, he's, you know, that seems like a pretty nice church. I said, well, yeah. Where'd you go? Well, I really don't go anywhere. Why not? Well, you know, he's kind of looking around. I said, you're welcome here. What's wrong? Well, you know, Saturday night I may have a Budweiser or two. I said, what's, explain this to me. People are afraid that preacher's going to point a finger at them. See what I'm saying? You had a Budweiser Saturday. Oh my goodness. You know, I could pick up one of these Bibles. We got 3 Bibles on the counter.
I saw that.
And I could probably go through every page and not find anywhere in there that says you're going to go to hell because you had a Budweiser on Saturday night. Why are we doing this to people?
Oh, that's a
no,
good,
we're both probably all teetotalers.
Yeah, we are. But that's, you know what? When I grew up, my best friend's dad was a bootlegger. I don't know if you know bootlegger.
Oh yeah.
And
but he had a nice car.
And you know what? There were 3. He had 3 boys. All 3 of them were all-state football players. They would, when they were sober, they were great. When they were drunk, they would fight a circle saw. but they were great people. And I can remember the oldest one we'd shared Christ with, no. And one day he asked Christ into his life. And he led his dad and 3 brothers to the Lord. They called him Fats Allison. He was about 320 pounds. When they baptized him, it was hilarious because water was going everywhere. And that's something that the Lord has had to work on my life, Dale. I'm glad you mentioned what you did, because I think there was a time period there. I was so opposed to alcohol because of working with people when I saw men beat women, when I saw my best friend get killed by a drunk driver. When he was 14, the guy ran him down, and so I was opposed to it. And yet at the same time, God is teaching me, you know, Coach, if you were to take the sins of your life and lay them out there, they would cover that so bad you would never see it anyway. And so I'm probably the sorriest person in this town. So I think we've had become, and that's another thing the millennials don't like, is judgmental.
Yeah.
And the Lord is teaching me, He's still teaching me, you don't have that right. In fact, I love it when Sam says, hey guys, man, I am so glad. He says, there's going to be people in here that have done things really bad, and I'm glad you're here, because that's what a church is for. A church is not for perfect people to come into. A church is for people that need Christ and need help, I have sin in my life, I have difficulties in my life, and we go so that God can change those. And so some of the best friends I have are people that drink a lot. Some of the best friends I have are people that don't drink any. But that is, I think we get that. It's going to be
a personal prerogative that once you have that relationship with Christ, that's going to have to be between that's that personal decision.
That's right.
But it shouldn't keep people away, and we shouldn't be driving people away because of whether we're 100% dead set against alcohol
or anything. Or doesn't have to be just alcohol. Whatever it is, we need to accept. Well, Ephesians says it pretty well. Forgive others as God has forgiven you. Love others as He is loving you. How does He loves me? How has He forgiven me? 100%. We just need to love people. We need to see them as God sees them, and look at our life as God looks at our life.
Throughout, let's look at when Zacchaeus climbed that tree. You know, he was a tax collector and all this stuff. He was hated, but who did Christ target? Hey, I want to have lunch with you.
That's right. That's right.
So why don't we
pride,
or the
fear.
Homeless guy under the bridge on Highway 5 South.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go down to Old Time. I'll buy you the special today.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you said that. We had a guy last week in the parking lot at the church, and Robert Horn brought him in and said, hey, Coach, said this guy's out here, hasn't got a place to stay. And Robert, Twin Lakes may have helped some, but Robert on his own said, hey, I'm going to take him down and feed him. He got him a place to spend the night, got him food. The next day he came back to the church, and the secretary is going to shoot me for sharing this. But all of a sudden I found out he had his way to get back home, and did a little investigation, and she purchased the ticket for him to get back home.
Good.
And I think that's really what we need to be doing, is just reaching out to people as Christ has reached out to us. Yep. Well, my life would be, it's got a lot of changes need to be made, but it would really be bad if it wasn't for Christ.
Yeah. Wow. Scooter, kind of quiet over there. What do you think?
I'm enjoying the conversation.
Scooter said something too a while ago when he said that the millennials, the kids nowadays, which is really part of these are Z generation, not the Y generation. They're looking for a commitment from us too. They want to know. They don't like talk. They want action. They want to see, are you the real deal?
They want honest action.
Yeah, they want the real deal.
And I think we're seeing this, there's more and more in the, we call this fake news. Well, Donald Trump said this, or Vice President said this, well, this reporter said that. Well, then it all comes out, and I think people are just getting sick and tired of the press manipulating things.
Yes.
They just tell us the way it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who's in the Oval Office for these 4 years, the next 4 years, or the last 8 years. Give us the truth.
Yes.
And
that's what they want, and they want the truth. but not in a demeaning way. They just want the truth.
Yeah.
Just tell me the truth.
Yeah.
And our dads used to have to do that with us sometimes, and our teachers and our coaches. My favorite coach, Richard Bell, he paddled me twice, and both times I deserved it. And I was in high school too, by the way. I wasn't a young kid, but I would crawl to Alaska and back for him, because he would. When he did, I knew he cared for me, and as Scooter said, he was making a commitment not to just say, hey, I want you to do this, or I'm going to do this. But he proved to me, he said, man, this is the way it's going to be. You're not going to be cutting up in class.
And
Bend
now,
over.
And now you know, that happens. You get the ACLU involved and 3 or 4 attorneys, and it goes to the Supreme Court or the Court of Appeals, and they sue this and sue that, and, you know, it's just, you know, there's no discipline. What about discipline? Where has that gone?
It has. Well, it's gone for the most part. I do know there are a few. Paddling is not necessarily discipline. It could be punishment or it could be discipline, one of the two. So we punish people, and that's good too. We all need to deserve punishment when we're wrong. But discipline is out of, I don't want you to do it again, and it's because I do care. But it's gone on the most part because of fear of being sued. Been in schools where, and I won't say where, I wouldn't want to get anyone in trouble, but where they would say, do not say anything to this parent because we are afraid. Of course, they could have slapped me, because the first thing I said was, they said, is that my daughter's grade? Yeah. Is it an F? Yeah. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. She's very intelligent. If she wants to do it, she can. And I think we need to be, that's the truth. And I think we need to be truthful without being sarcastic or smart aleck, but with love. And we need discipline back in our country. We need discipline back in our school and our homes.
I remember when I was younger, they actually sent, you know, papers for your parents to fill out, and one was a disciplinary sheet.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to discipline your child when they get out of line? They blah, blah, blah. I think my dad signed it twice. Oh, heck yeah. Discipline them. You know, that was the thing.
And I think we need to come down to that. Whatever school, Okay, before you sit, because we got school choice, so you come up with this piece of paper. These are our rules.
Yes.
Read them. Do you understand them? Yes, I do. Okay, sign here, and we'll notarize that thing.
Right.
So in other words, if little Billy's in 4th grade and he starts dunking Sally's little pigtail in the inkwell, you're going to get your butt swatted.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's sign here.
Go to the south end to reach the north end. I miss those days.
You remember dipping pigtails? People don't even know what an inkwell is anymore.
No, they don't even know an inkwell. Scooter, no, he doesn't. He's too young.
He's too young.
I know what it is.
But I think it all comes back to us making choices.
Yeah.
And it deals with, again, a lot with our generation, baby boomers, of making some choices of, hey, listen, we have got to, again, not compromise the Word of God ever, but we have got to realize traditions are man-made, and some of them are good and we need to keep. Some of them are wrong, and we need to say, hey, we're willing to change because we care about you.
Yeah, that's right. Wow, good stuff. We've got about 3 minutes before we end the show.
Everybody looking at me.
Well, I'm going to make an announcement. Last night we finished, after 1 year, nearly 1 year of production. We talked about this program my son and I have been working on for a year. We lost Dalton Watson a year ago, and then coming up on the 30th of January, we lost Carlene Elliott in Flippin due to suicide. So we've made this film. It is finished.
Yeah.
I figured my son has put in close to 400 hours of clock
time. Which son?
Caleb. Caleb did the editing on it. We went to C3 with Pastor David Johnson. We sat down with the Watson family, lost both of their children. We went to Flippin First Baptist with Aaron Lindsay, sat down, and they just opened up. That's on there. We had Jamie Leach from First Step, Sheriff Montgomery, Jake Long, Mountain Home Public School Superintendent, Ty Cotter with Care Center Ministries. The film is done, and if we can get this thing plugged into the system on January 31st, it's going to be broadcast right here in place of Down on the Corner. And I appreciate Gil Reynolds and Dan, everybody, you know, for letting us use the equipment and stuff. And so we're finishing up the technical aspects of it, and so that's the plan, to get this on the air on January 31st in memory of Dalton and Carlene. You know, we even went down to Dolph, Arkansas at the rodeo, where they had the empty saddle and filmed down there. It was quite a moving ceremony down there, but That's the plan.
Well, thank you for that. We have to deal with a lot of people that are contemplating suicide, and I think that's another part of this generation. Yep. They want to change the world, but again, they're used to quick microwave, and when it doesn't happen, sometimes they get discouraged. And I thank you for what you're doing there, and your son. I'm proud of him.
It's been tough, and in the midst of all that, while dealing with the addictions portions of it, the suicide portion of it, my mom gets sick and passes away in the process of trying to get this on the air. Yeah. So coming up on January 31st, that's tentative, providing we can get everything put in the system here and get it up and running, make sure all the T's are crossed, I's are dotted. So looking forward to that, and a lot of folks have helped out financially. Appreciate all the sponsors there. XL7 TV with Dan and Gil and Scooter for all their help too.
Yeah.
So
free Wednesday, old time.
Free Wednesday.
Beans and cornbread.
Somebody's going to be in trouble.
And chocolate pie.
Remember when you go in and just tell them Coach Bill Hughes sent me.
Chocolate pie. She makes the best chocolate pie.
Well, let me tell you, it's good stuff. Eh?
Yeah. Thank you all so much.
Thank you for being here. We had a good conversation. I really enjoyed it. Scooter, you got anything to add to that before we close out?
Nope.
All right.
No, we're good.
That wraps it up. Everybody have a great day. We will see you tomorrow.